Work today moves fast, but Monday.com is here to help with their work management product. It's built for more than just marketing teams. It connects entire organizations to bridge the gap between strategy and execution. Plus, with built-in AI capabilities, your team can work smarter, not harder. Maximize your marketing impact with the first work product you and your team will love to use. Visit us at Monday.com to learn more.
On today's Smart 7, the government steps up prison building, Trump meets the interim Syrian President, and much more. It's Thursday, 15th of May. It's Notebook Day, and happy birthday, Andy Murray.
The Smart 7. It's news, but not the news.
The government was focused on prisons on Wednesday and the fact that once again the UK's prison system is operating at maximum capacity. Last year saw prisoners released early in the wake of the Southport riots, but Justice Secretary Shabana Mahmood says the UK's prisons are now 99% full again. She's announced new capital investment of £4.7 billion, which will see 3 new prisons being built and funding for new cells at existing prisons.
This is a record prison expansion. And after the long delays under the last government, we are building at breakneck pace. But we must be honest. Prison building is not sufficient.
Even the new investment won't be enough, however, and there's an independent sentencing review due next week, which may see recommendations for more early releases and prison reforms. Amy Rees is the former chief executive of the Prison and Probation Service, but has now been appointed to the Justice Department as interim permanent secretary, and she says that the system is close to breaking point.
If Operation Early Dawn is unable to manage the flow of prisoners, the situation becomes intolerable. We would see the managed breakdown of the criminal justice system.
It's not been a great week for PM Keir Starmer. He's had a series of arson attacks on his property, he's had huge pushback on his speech on migration, and he had to face Tory leader Kemi Badenoch again at Prime Minister's Question Time. The PM seemed a touch irritable at the podium as he came under pressure for his change of approach to migration and, of course, his island of strangers phrasing.
I want to lead a country where we pull together and walk into the future as neighbours and as communities, not as strangers. And the loss of control of migration by the last government put all of that at risk.
Lib Dem leader Sir Ed Davey was concerned about the proposed changes to the visa scheme for carers, and he was keen that those already working in social care should be recognised.
Now, those carers looking after our loved ones in care homes should be thanked. But will the Prime Minister do now the things the Conservatives refused to do, starting with a higher minimum wage for carers?
Donald Trump has been busy on his 3-day trip to the Middle East, meeting with former Syrian rebel and now interim Syrian President Ahmed al-Sharaa on Wednesday. The al-Qaeda rebel turned politician had a $10 million bounty on his head until December, but now he's meeting Trump and could see sanctions lifted on his country. Saudi Crown Prince bin Salman and Turkish President Erdogan were the key persuaders of Trump's change of mind, and Trump seemed prepared to ignore al-Sharaa's al-Qaeda past. Next stop was Qatar, who were about to donate a $400 million jet to Donald, and he was speaking very highly of his host, Qatar's Emir, Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani.
I just want to thank you for the friendship, for the long-time friendship. And we came from Saudi Arabia, where we have another great man over there that's a friend of yours. You sort of remind me a little bit of each other, if you want to know the truth. They're both tall, handsome guys that happen to be very smart.
There were more Israeli strikes across Gaza on Wednesday, this time focused on the northern Jabalia area, with local hospitals estimating that as many as 80 people were killed, including 15 women and more than 20 children. The IDF said it was targeting Hamas fighters in the north after rockets were fired into Israel and that it had issued evacuation orders to locals. While the airstrikes intensify, there has been no sign of a ceasefire or any lifting of the blockade on aid, food and fuel, despite increasing pressure from aid agencies and the United Nations. UN Under-Secretary-General Tom Fletcher is the agency's aid chief, and he addressed a Security Council meeting in New York with a plea for urgent action.
Israel is deliberately and unashamedly imposing inhumane conditions on civilians in the occupied Palestinian territory. Will you act decisively to prevent genocide and to ensure respect for international humanitarian law? Or will you say instead that we did all we could?
Still to come on today's Smart 7, in association with Metro, Rory McIlroy pitches up at Quail Hollow and the weekend needs a hand. Right after this.
This is Paige DeSorbo, the co-host of Giggly Squad. I have exciting news. McDonald's has all new McCrispy strips. It's chicken made for dipping. Tender, juicy white meat chicken with a golden brown, peppery breading. It's chicken so good it deserves its own sauce. The creamy chili McCrispy strip dip, a sauce that's creamy, savory, and sweet with a little heat. But it works with any of our sauces. I'm personally a barbecue sauce girl. Even sometimes I like ketchup. I'm just like basic sometimes. But I also need it in addition to any new sauces I'm trying. With a new creamy chili McCrispy strip dip, it's chicken made for dipping, only at McDonald's.
Welcome back. Rory McIlroy is back on the golf course and he's warning his rivals that he's ready to add more titles to his trophy cabinet now that he's finally managed to win the Masters. He's playing this weekend in the US PGA Championship at Quail Hollow, a tournament he's already won 4 times, but he'd be quite happy to pick up another major this weekend. Everywhere he goes, though, he gets one question: how did it feel to finally win the Masters? And he says he has mixed feelings about watching those final moments.
I've tried not to watch it a lot because I want to remember the feelings, so I haven't tried to watch it back too much. But anytime I have, I well up. I still feel like I want to cry.
If I say Abel Tesfaye, you'd probably struggle to name one of his big hit songs, but if I say The Weeknd, you'll be humming along in no time. Abel has decided, however, that it's time to switch things up, and he's dropping the Weeknd moniker for something new. But much like Kid Jensen or Cheryl Cole, will people call him The Weeknd forever? He's still working on the new stage name, and I'm just throwing it out there. But what about calling yourself the Smart 7?
We're brainstorming it right now. I feel like we don't have any definite answers, but I haven't dropped it yet because I'm on tour. So so I still gotta, get out there and see the fans.
There's a new Marvel TV show on the way to Disney+, and it's the final part of Phase 5 of the Marvel Universe. It's called Iron Heart. This one follows on from Black Panther and follows the story of Riri Williams from Wakanda, who is studying at MIT, where she ends up building an Iron Man-esque suit. Riri is played by Dominique Thorne, and the series is exec-produced by Ryan Coogler, Black Panther director, but it's taken nearly 5 years for Ironheart to make it to the screen. The cast includes Anthony Ramos as the mysterious Hood, and the first 3 episodes are due to drop on June 24th.
Riri, I see you. I see you're fed up, waiting to be acknowledged for your greatness.
You are not the first genius at MIT.
How come you're not working at one of those fancy tech firms?
After my internship abroad, I want to build something undeniable. Something
important.
Iconic.
You've been listening to The Smart 7. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Hit that follow button and have a great day. Give us 7 minutes, we'll give you the world.
McCrispy strips are now at McDonald's. Tender, juicy, and its own sauce. Would you look at that? Well, you can't see it, but trust me, it looks delicious. New McCrispy strips, now at McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.